I've been following a carnivore diet since 2019, and I've taken over 5,000 students through different carnivore protocols. And I have discovered something shocking. There are 5 carnivore foods that a lot of people eat on the carnivore diet, which actually increases the likelihood of certain symptoms like brain fog, inflammation, weight loss resistance, and digestive issues like gas, bloating, constipation, and diarrhea. I'm going to outline these 5 carnivore foods that you might want to remove from the carnivore diet to enhance your results. The first food is going to be conventional pasteurized cow dairy. I don't know if you knew this, but studies are showing that 75% of the entire adult population in the world cannot process pasteurized cow dairy. They have some variation of lactose intolerance. When you consume cow dairy and you don't process it well, it could slow down the lymphatic system, lead to digestive issues, joint pain, brain fog, and eventually leaky gut, and even trigger autoimmune conditions. This is because the pasteurization of cow dairy renders a lot of the benefits from dairy useless. You see, they heat up the dairy to kill the bacteria, and it kills bad bacteria for sure, but it also gets rid of the good guys. And the body's not designed to process this well. We lose the ability to process cow dairy during our transition from a child to adulthood. So if you're following the carnivore diet and you're drinking cow dairy or eating a ton of cow cheese, you might want to remove it, and you should notice a difference. Here's what I personally do and what I tell my students to do. Swap your cow dairy for sheep and goat dairy. Sheep and goat dairy is digested way better than cow dairy. And the cool thing about sheep and goat dairy, about 30% of sheep and goat dairy contains medium chain triglycerides, MCTs. The significance of that, it helps your body produce more fat-burning ketones, which lowers inflammation, raises your basal metabolic rate, and helps you burn more fat. Now, if you choose to go with cow dairy, you're much better off with raw dairy. Here in the United States, unfortunately, there are only a few states that allow you to purchase cow dairy that is raw legally. I'm in Florida, and Florida, unfortunately, it's illegal to buy raw dairy, which is crazy if you think about it. So usually the workaround is finding a local farmer that has raw dairy and purchasing it for pet consumption. And that's kind of the loophole there. And I'm not going to tell you to drink it because it's not legal in Florida and many states. But you're better off choosing the sheep and the goat dairy. You're going to feel a lot better. So personally, I go with raw goat cheese, raw sheep cheese, and it actually tastes pretty good, and I feel really good when I make that swap. The second food you might want to avoid on the carnivore diet is conventional chicken and eggs. This is because chickens are one of the dirtiest animals out there, up there with pork, by the way. And a lot of these chickens, they're not raised the right way. They live in really hostile, disgusting environments where they are all forced into small spaces. They have no room to roam. They're eating a poor diet, which is high in soybean, corn, which raises their levels of linoleic acid and inflammatory oxidized fat. We eat this chicken, we consume these conventional eggs, and we're getting a high dose of linoleic acid, and we know that is inflammatory. Now, if you could find yourself some organic pastured chicken, organic pastured eggs, that should be fine. That's usually what I go for. But if you cannot find organic pastured chicken and eggs, I would recommend avoiding them on the carnivore diet. You should notice levels of inflammation decrease, joint pain getting better, brain fog going away, and of course, some fat loss can occur too by getting rid of conventional chicken and eggs. The third food is conventional pork. Yeah, all forms of pork, including bacon. Just like chickens, pork, pigs are a very dirty animal as well, and they contain a high amount of omega-6 fats when they are conventionally raised. Omega-6 fats, when you have a high balance of omega-6 fats to omega-3 fats, that creates inflammation in your body. If you could find yourself a healthy, clean source of pork and bacon, that would be really important. You want to look for organic pastured pork, and I have that. I have organic pastured pork on the carnivore diet, but I don't have conventional pork. The fourth food to avoid on the carnivore diet is farmed salmon, farmed seafood in general, but let's discuss salmon for a second. Farmed fish is way different than wild-caught fish. Studies are showing that farmed fish contain higher amounts, a very high amount, I should say, of polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs. PCBs are known carcinogens, cancer causing. Not only that, the feed given to farmed seafood is inflammatory. They're given antibiotics, they're given soybean, they're given inflammatory foods that change the nutrient structure and the fat structure of that fish, and we consume it, and that could be inflammatory inside of the body. I don't know if you ever saw what a farm fish looks like before they add these pink dyes to it to make it look more like, for example, wild-caught salmon, but it's not healthy. So you want to find yourself wild-caught fish, wild-caught salmon. It has healthier amounts of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA, and DHA. It's fed, it's eating a natural feed of like krill and different things that are in the ocean that help with the antioxidant content, especially astaxanthin in wild-caught seafood, which we know is anti-inflammatory and prevents you from actually getting burned from the sun as well. So find yourself wild-caught seafood. You also want to be aware that the bigger the fish, the more toxins it contains. So small fish on the carnivore diet, wild-caught, are the best. Salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring, that will be the best when it's wild-caught on the carnivore diet. The fifth food you might want to avoid on the carnivore diet is excessive lean meats. Yes, we discussed chicken breasts, for example. That's a lean meat, but also cuts of meat that are very lean, a lot of muscle meat. Why do we want to avoid this? Well, the fat on carnivore is really important for you to feel full and satiated. It's important for ketone production, and it's also going to be important to prevent things like constipation, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. When you find yourself eating so much lean meat and only lean meat on the carnivore diet, you might actually feel less satiated, less full, and you might not get enough ketones being produced. And for some people, when they have an excessive amount of lean meat on carnivore, it creates gluconeogenesis, which is the production of glucose, the creation of glucose, which for some people could raise their blood sugars and lower their ketone levels. So I'm not saying do not have any lean meats on the carnivore diet, but mix it up with fatty cuts of meat. I love ribeye. I love organ meats. I love fatty cuts of meat. To me, it tastes delicious, it's satiating, and it's actually going to support your carnivore diet. Before I get into the common questions I get asked here on this topic, I want to share with you a valuable resource to find these clean, healthy cuts of meat and seafood on the carnivore diet. I personally use a company called Wild Pastures, and they deliver these clean meats, grass-fed, grass-finished, organic, pastured pig, organic pork and poultry right to my door. You could actually get a special deal from Wild Pastures. And you could actually get a special deal from Wild Pastures if you go to KetoCampMeat.com, that is camp with the K. You'll get 20% off for life, plus $15 off your first box when you go to KetoCampMeat.com. We'll drop that link down below. Now let's get to the common questions I get asked on carnivore. The first question is this: I tend to get diarrhea or loose stools on the carnivore diet. What can I do? This is very common. What's happening here is as you're increasing your fats and proteins on the carnivore diet, your liver needs to produce an adequate amount of bile to break it down. Bile is a green substance that acts like a detergent to break down dietary fat. Commonly, when you follow the carnivore diet, you're going to increase your dietary fat. And unfortunately, many people have a sluggish liver from toxins, medications, high processed carbohydrates, alcohol, and they're not able to break down the dietary fat on the carnivore diet, which results in loose stools and diarrhea. What is the solution? The solution is to support your liver, and you could do this especially by spreading out your fats and your proteins on carnivore. So instead of having 1 or 2 big carnivore meals, maybe in the beginning have 3 to 4 carnivore meals that are a little smaller, spread out throughout the day, so your liver has time to adjust, produce enough bile, recycle that bile, and break down the fat. If you do this and you continue to have loose stools and diarrhea, then it might be a good idea to supplement with a product that contains ox bile. Ox bile is actually giving your body exogenous bile to break down the dietary fat. The company that I use that has a high quality amount of ox bile is from Systemic Formulas. It's called DS, and I'll drop a link for that in the notes down below. The next question is kind of the opposite of the first question. The carnivore diet makes me constipated. Is there anything I can do? If you find that you're eating a lot of lean meats on the carnivore diet, this could happen. You might feel like the protein just sits in your stomach. This is a result of low stomach acid. So what you can do is take some magnesium, which is a relaxant, which could help with constipation. Maybe even take some apple cider vinegar 30 minutes before your meal, a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar diluted with water, which raises the acidity levels in your gut to help break it down. And that should help with constipation. Stay hydrated, get your electrolytes and minerals in. This also helps with constipation. I like a squatty potty. Every bathroom in my house has a squatty potty, which it stimulates, or I should say simulates, a natural squatting position. I'll drop a link for the squatty potty down below. And these are a few things you can do. And I would also recommend potassium as well. So for magnesium, 400 to 600 milligrams of magnesium daily. For potassium, around 800 milligrams of potassium daily. And I'll drop links for my favorite supplements down below. The next question is this: are there any different levels to the carnivore diet? And how do I know which level is best for me? There are different levels. There are about 4 levels that I talk about in my latest book, Keto Flex. And the 4 levels are the following. Level 1 is the most extreme. It's the most restrictive one, but it's also the most beneficial one. And level 1 only allows beef and salt. Beef from red meat, beef from lamb, and salt. That's it. This option is more for somebody who has severe autoimmune disease. They might be really restrictive and follow a level 1. Level 2 is a little bit more flexible, which allows everything in level 1 plus all animal products and seafood. So yeah, you could have the beef and the salt, but you could also have the organic chicken and poultry, the organic pork, and the wild-caught seafood. It opens it up a little bit more. Level 3 is everything I just mentioned, plus eggs, ideally organic pastured eggs, and dairy, ideally sheep and goat dairy. That's a level 3. Level 4 is the most flexible version of the carnivore diet, which includes everything I just mentioned, plus some plant-based sauces like Primal Kitchen salad dressings and dips, spices, and even small amounts of avocados and mushrooms could be allowed on level 4. So it's a little bit more flexible. Which one should you do? It depends on the severity of your health symptoms. If you're dealing with a lot of health symptoms, especially leaky gut, autoimmune, level 1, level 2 would be best for you. But if you're just looking to enhance your health and experiment with the carnivore diet and you're somewhat healthy, then level 3, level 4 would suit you best. Before I get to the next question, if one of your goals is to lose weight and burn fat, I have a free ebook for you called my Burn Fat book, and you could get it for free by scanning the QR code on the screen, or if you're listening on the podcast, go to burnfatbook.com. It's a 7-day protocol to lose 10 pounds of fat within a week. Gives you 3 easy steps. You could read it in 15 minutes, follow the actions, and you're gonna burn 10 pounds of fat at least in the next 7 days. So download that for free over at burnfatbook.com, scanning the QR code, or going to the link down below. The next question is this: which health conditions would the carnivore diet benefit the most? It's going to benefit those that are dealing with inflammation and leaky gut and autoimmune conditions. What happens is when we're inflamed and our digestive system is inflamed and we're eating a lot of vegetables and carbohydrates and fiber, it's very difficult to break that down. It creates more inflammation in our gut, pokes holes in our gut, leads to undigested food particles entering the bloodstream, creating this hyper-vigilant autoimmune response, leading to autoimmune disease and also a whole bunch of inflammatory conditions like weight gain, weight loss resistance, brain fog, joint pain, and many other conditions, even like type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. It'll benefit you the most if you're dealing with those conditions, because when you remove fiber, anti-nutrients, high glucose and insulin spikes from carbohydrates, your body goes into a healing state. I always say this: your body was built to be self-healing. All you need to do is follow 3 steps to achieve this. Identify the interference, which is the first step, remove the interference, which is the second step, and allow your incredible human body, this innate intelligence, this inner physician, to go to work and heal the body. Carnivore is one of the best ways to do all of that. I've seen amazing results on the carnivore diet, not just for myself, but like I said earlier, in over 5,000 students. The next question is this: Ben, do you follow the carnivore diet all the time? I don't. I follow the carnivore diet. My current routine is doing carnivore Monday through Saturday, and then on Sunday, I personally flex out. I call it a carnivore flex. And I flex out with 100 to 200 grams of healthy carbs on that day, low anti-nutrient plants and vegetables. I typically have white rice, some fruit, and I'm very active that day. I have a healthy metabolism. I can do this. For some people, like maybe you watching or listening, if you're dealing with a lot of health conditions, then that approach will not work for you. Be strict, do carnivore for 60, 90 days, 120 days, and then reassess to see if you could flex out. I teach this to all my students, by the way. The next question is this: will there be a transition phase at the beginning of the carnivore diet where I might feel worse before I get better? This can happen because when you're making this shift to an animal-based diet and removing carbohydrates and vegetables, a few things could happen. Your gut microbiome is shifting, you're lowering insulin and shedding excess water weight, great, but you're also losing a lot of electrolytes and minerals. So transition slowly. If you've never done carnivore and you're currently doing a high carb, high vegetable diet, transition slowly, 7 to 14 days of a transition, and keep your minerals and electrolytes and water up, keep your hydration up, and you should not experience any symptoms at all if you do it the right way. So there you have it. I hope this makes a big difference for you in your health journey. Share this episode with a friend. If you're listening on the Metabolic Freedom Podcast, leave the show a rating and review. And I acknowledge you for watching and listening the entire episode. And hey, if you love this episode, you're gonna love a recent experiment I did following the carnivore diet for 90 straight days, and I did comprehensive lab work and stool test on day 1 and on day 90, and you will not believe what the carnivore diet did to my body after 90 days. Check out this clip, and I'll see you in that video. I did a lab test on day 1 and day 90, and you will not believe the results. In this video, I'll be sharing the entire experiment of all 90 days of carnivore, and I'll be sharing my lab test, my stool test, other metrics that I tracked, and some other surprising, shocking results from the 90-day experiment. Now,